Hello Sheridan Hill, here I am again with another book, How Ducklings Grow by Diane Molson and photographs by Dwight Kuhn. How Ducklings Grow. It is spring. This mother duck is looking for a safe place to lay her eggs. The mother builds a nest in a clump of grass near the water. She makes the nest from a grass, bits of dry leaves, and her own feathers. The mother duck is called a hen. She is smaller than the father duck. The father duck is called a drake. He has a curl at the tip of his tail. After the hen builds her nest, she sits on the eggs to keep them warm. The feathers, leaves, and grass help to keep the eggs warm too. A baby duck is growing inside each egg. All the food a duckling needs until it hatches is inside the egg. The ducklings get their nourishment from the yolk, the yellow part of the egg. In about 30 days, the egg yolk are gone. The ducklings are now big enough to hatch. When a baby duck is ready to hatch, it twists and turns inside the shell. The eggshell cracks. On the baby duck's bill is a tiny tooth. It's called the egg tooth. The duckling uses this tooth to break through the eggshell. First, the duckling scrapes its tooth against the crack. That makes the crack grow bigger and bigger. When the crack is big enough, the baby duck wiggles through the shell. Within a day, all the ducklings in the nest have hatched. The duckling's egg tooth will fall off a few days after the duckling has hatched. When they first come out, they're all wet looking. They're not the cute, fluffy little ducklings like you would think. They're pretty wet and tired. They usually fall asleep as soon as they come out. Here are the ducklings that were inside the eggs. They are less than 1 day old. The little ducks have wet, sticky feathers. Their eyes are wide open. By the next day, the ducklings are dry. Their feathers are fluffy and soft. These feathers are called down. Already the ducklings can see and walk. They're adorable, aren't they? Just after they hatch, ducklings act as if any large moving object nearby is their parent. Sometimes a duckling will mistake a person, a chicken, or even a balloon for its parent. The first large moving object these ducklings see is their real mother. They follow her out of the nest. All in a row, they waddle to the water. The ducklings know how to swim right away. Nobody even has to teach them. Ducklings are born knowing everything they need to live. They can run, find food, and swim. Ducks have webbed feet to help them swim. These webbed feet work like paddles in the water. It is easier for the ducklings to swim with their webbed feet than to walk on land. The ducklings line up behind their mother in the water. They are off to look for food. They eat snails, seeds, and small insects, which they can find on or just under the water. To get their food, the ducklings tip their tails up and stretch their necks down into the water. The ducklings may have trouble catching a meal when they are very young. At first, they eat mostly snails because baby ducks are not fast enough to catch insects. But the ducklings keep trying. Ducklings take good care of their feathers. They have a special gland filled with oil at the base of their tails. With their beaks, they take the oil and spread it over their feathers. Because oil and water do not mix, drops of water slide right off this duckling's feathers. The mother tries to keep her ducklings together. This way she can protect them from snapping turtles, raccoons, and large fish that want to eat the little ducks. By the time ducklings are 6 months old, they are all grown up. These young ducks have their flying feathers. They are as big as their parents. They do not need their mothers to take care of them anymore. This duck flaps its wings and lifts itself into the air. By next spring, when she is 1 year old, this female duck will be ready to have ducklings of her own. She will try to find a good nesting place in a clump of grass near the water. I hope you enjoyed that book. Thanks.